Hey everyone, Andy Manus back here with another adventure for you, and today we're back in the cocktail corner to show you the proper way to taste your whiskeys. To give you this vital information, we're teaming up with our friend Hunter Coleman at Bari Ristorante, who brought out the good stuff to show us what we need to know about tasting our whiskeys. But first, why would we want to try out this process?
Mostly the reason you want to do that is so you can really taste the whiskey itself. You can learn more of the characters about it, the flavors you like in it. Sometimes, if you're just drinking to get drunk and you don't really care what it tastes like, it doesn't really matter. But if you do enjoy the flavor of it, I highly recommend doing like a real proper whiskey tasting. It's really interesting.
Whiskey tasting is done in a 3-step process. Observe.
Say it's
a little darker.
Yeah, it's got a dark amber hue to it.
Smell.
Smell again. See all that? I mean, it
still smells so
like,
sweet.
It's like cake vanilla.
Yeah,
almost,
no, that's what I was going to say. And my favorite part, tasting it. So let's hop right in and let Hunter walk us through.
So the first thing you want to do when you're tasting a whiskey is you want to observe it. You want to look at the color, see how it's kind of got a nice, light, amber, kind of honey color to it. All right, and we'll give it a smell. And you smell it again, you get more flavors on the second smell.
Aromatherapy. Once you've taken a look at your whiskey and given it a couple of sniffs, notice what flavors you're getting. Maybe some caramel or vanilla notes. Keep those flavors in mind for this next part, the tasting. But there's also a process to this.
Let's go ahead and give it a taste.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Now with that first taste, you kind of want to work it around your tongue. You kind of want to coat your cheeks. And that is just essentially to get the flavors ready.
Okay.
All right, now take another sip.
Going in for that second taste will really reveal more of your whiskey's flavor profiles. Notice how the flavors are much more pronounced than they were on that first sip. There is one more optional step to the tasting process, adding a few drops of water.
Now, a lot of people, they don't like to add water to it, but I mean, many head distillers from many different bourbon makers all recommend it. Put a couple little drops of water in there.
Not much at all.
All right, give a little swish. And what this does, this will kind of knock down the alcohol to this, and you can taste more of the botanicals, you get more of the fuller flavors in the whiskeys.
Okay. We tried a few different whiskeys that Hunter brought out for us, and each one of them had their own unique color, smell, and flavor profile. So just to recap the tasting portion.
I always say like the first flavor there is just to kind of coat the palate. The second flavor is going to be more complex, and the third is going to be like really more so the natural flavor of what you're going to be tasting pretty much every time you take a sip. I always find the third sip really kind of, that's where you get the real flavor. I always tell people, don't say you don't like a drink till you get the third sip.
So the next time you sit down to enjoy a glass of bourbon, remember these steps, and you might fall in love with your favorite whiskey all over again. But do keep this helpful tip in mind.
Oh yeah, I mean, you have to prepare your palate. Like you have to go into the tasting ready. Like I have a lot of people that they want to come taste a glass of wine. I pour it for them, like, oh, I don't like this. Like, oh, why don't you like it? It's like, well, I did just brush my teeth. It's like, all right, don't brush your teeth before any kind of tasting. Just saying.